Yeah, that was a sketchy move. I want to talk about the pole saw. That's a really important tool. And I got to say that, Jorge here, he's a master with the pole saw. I have a world of respect for the things he's capable of doing with this. So let me tell you the story about this removal we've got here. It's a eucalyptus tree, and it was hanging quite a ways over the neighbor's property, and it was going out at such an angle that neither one of us thought it was safe to climb it. And unfortunately, there weren't any other trees that were close enough that we could tie into. So after we got all the lower limbs off, you can see the stubs that he's standing on, he decided to use the pole saw to bring the whole thing down. And not only is he using the pole saw to bring him down, he's using the pole saw to set the rope. And you can see a running bowline right here, running meaning that he tied it around itself and pulled it up so that was the support point. But before he did that, he put the ring over on the other side. But it's a very awkward position to be in. Using the pole saw on this first cut here anyway, he's underneath the branch. So it's a little sketchy. And we didn't want to drop anything on the neighbor's property because of this. The construction back there made it just this incredibly muddy mess, and I think we would have sunk up to our knees if we walked over there. And if we dropped branches over there, it would have been a real pain. But we didn't want to climb out on that to use the chainsaw. We would have had to go out quite a ways. If you guys have never worked with eucalyptus, they're very heavy branches because they have all these seed corns, these seed pods on the ends. And the wood is very, very heavy, but it's also very, very brittle. So Jorge's about 230 pounds, and if he would have gone out there and been working off of this area and roping limbs down from the same area that he was working, it was sketchy. I would not have felt comfortable. He certainly didn't feel comfortable. Sometimes you have to look at a situation and say, that is not a smart move. I did have a bit of drop from the ring because we wanted the branches to fall in a certain area. If we had the ring up close, it would have dropped right down and hit him. So I'm managing the rope and trying to keep things away from him, and you can see that was kind of close. It doesn't look big in the video here, but this branch is probably, it's a small one. It's probably 50 pounds. A lot of water weight in it too. So he opted to go over to the other side. There was an oak tree on the other side. So he's still tied into the branch that we're roping down, and we're tying the limbs to that branch. So not only is it supporting him, that's the branch that we're working with. So I don't have a cameraman very often. I often, just pull the camera out and take a few shots here and there. Today I put it down on the ground so that I zoomed the lens out as far as I could so I could capture as much of this as possible. But you can see that I sent the pole saw up to him with the extension on it, and it's a 12-foot pole saw, and the extension is 6 feet. So he's got 18 feet of pole that he's working up here. We do have a sharp blade on there. It's not a brand new blade, but it's close. It's got about 2 weeks of cutting on it. We change the blades out on our pole saws probably once a month, or if it gets to the point where it's not cutting very well. And we pay probably $30 a blade. I use the Fano blades. Everybody says, well, have you tried Silky? And I said, yeah, I love them. They're $65, $70 a piece. Don't love them that much. The Fano blade, the tri-edge Japanese blade made by Fano or ARS, they're about $25, $30 a piece for the replacement blades. They're pretty good. They hold up well, and they're cheap enough so we can call them disposable. They are impulse hardened steel, which makes filing them and sharpening them very, very difficult. I have not had good luck doing it. I've tried, but I don't know. Maybe if you had like a little diamond sharpening bit or something, I've not had luck with it because there's 3 edges that you're sharpening and they've got to be exact. So this is kind of long and drawn out here, but that's really the only way that you're going to appreciate the effort that Jorge is going through to make this cut. And he's in an awkward position. Working with a pole saw is hard on the shoulders. It's hard on the neck. You're working up. You're constantly being aware of all the sawdust coming down in your face, even with glasses on. The sawdust is coming down, and it's a nuisance. It's also possible to get it in your eyes, so you have to be very, very careful. I'll pull on it when it starts to break.
Yeah, that's what's fine to do. Move it on. Start to break. Okay. It's gonna be hanging.
Much leverage anyway. Watch that stuff coming down. You're cracking.
Yeah, yeah.
Pull it with the pulse off from the end. Careful, that butt comes down. I'll do what I can, pull up as fast as I can.
I know.
Good. You all right?
Yeah.
I'm afraid to lower it because it'll just go further back on the branch. Let me pull up
Hold on. Can you pull it?
More?
I was trying to pull it this way.
Yeah, I was pulling it for you.
Give me some slack. Just right there. Hold on. Hold it right there.
Let me go up a little bit more. Good. Good job. Oh, an escape route, huh?
Yep.
It's a big cut, man, with a pole saw. A ballsy move, man. Not a very good cross cut either. It's kind of like a long cut. Where are you going to cut it? Do you know?
Right here.
Oh man, that's a big cut. That's like a 6 or 8 inch cut. Okay, I'm going to edit out a whole bunch of this because this big cut took quite a while. I got it. Good job. What?
For that, huh?
Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time.
Uh-huh.
All right, if you watch my video on trimming fruit trees, you'll recognize this apple. I talked about it in great detail. But for those of you that haven't watched the video, there's a big hole down in here. And there's a big weakness right here. It goes all the way through. So I opt to take off a big cut here, a big cut here, and a big cut over there so that it kind of pulls it back together a little bit. This will never get better, but it may linger. So my objective here is to leave a little bit of something in front for this tree. So I made those hard cuts. I could certainly get up there and do a little more pruning up here and up over here and out over this way. The client did some grafts back on the far side over here, so I'm kind of leaving that be. She did the grafts way out on the very, very tips. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens next year. They're going to have us back, so I'll see how it leaves out. Maybe make a few more pruning cuts then.